is the volatility that we're seeing right now kind of tied to what's going on in Congress with the debt ceiling?
Yep, you are 100% correct.
Hey everyone, Jamie with Sell for 1%, joined by the rest of the fellows at the brokerage and Ryan Cochran, mortgage officer over at NFM Lending. Had Ryan on a few times. I'd like to go through what's going on with interest rates in the week and where we're at currently. So Ryan, what's going on, man?
Yeah, thanks for having me on again, guys. Always a pleasure. So where we're kind of seeing interest rates at, to address the elephant in the room, we're seeing them anywhere from 6.5% to 7.5%, just depending on, the buyer's specific situation. Where we have been seeing them, kind of the average of them being locked in is right around a 7.25-ish. We are seeing in range volatility, which essentially just means that we're seeing them fluctuate a little bit, just depending upon the trading, buying and sellings of the mortgage-backed security bonds. Like, for example, yesterday was a volatile day where we saw interest rates, they jumped about a half or an eighth of a percent from like 7 to 7 and 0.125%. But we're still going to continue to see that. We potentially might see that in range volatility where we see an eighth of a percent adjustment on the better side today and they go back down to 7. But right now, that's where the average locked loan is for us is going to be at a 7 to a 7.125.
Now, I Zoom had a little hand raise button where I don't have to raise my hand, but if you had a question, a little hand emoji would pop up, because I'd be clicking that. My question would be, what are you seeing with the mortgage-backed securities, and I guess is the interest in getting a mortgage going up? Are there more mortgage applications coming in that you see?
So we did see a rise towards the first half of May. Well, actually the first three weeks of May, we saw a rise in mortgage applications. So far this week, we have seen a decrease in mortgage applications, but it's by 0.06% that we saw that decrease. And that's obviously comparing it to the rise that we saw last week. So overall, mortgage applications are up, and people are looking to buy houses in general. And like I always mention on this call, Columbus and the greater surrounding areas of Columbus is kind of in a bubble in itself, right? The overall country, right, is seeing purchase prices maybe steadily going down, but we're kind of staying at or a little bit continuing to rise on purchase prices just because of the lack of inventory, and then also just with the news of big corporations coming and just in general our population going up, is purchase prices are going to continue to go up. So I think that right now it's still an awesome time to buy in Columbus. Everywhere else in the world or in the nation, maybe be a little bit more smart about it, but you're definitely going to be gaining some equity in the homes that you buy, and then just take advantage of refinancing later when the interest rates do go down in the next year or two.
And so is the volatility that we're seeing right now kind of tied to what's going on in Congress with the debt ceiling?
Yep, you are 100% correct. Typically when anybody or any of the government or the Federal Reserve meets, there's going to be some volatility just because we don't truly know what's going to come out of it, and everyone is kind of on hiatus until the official reports come out on everything. But you are 100% right. That is why we are seeing some of the volatility this week, because of those discussions with the debt ceiling.
And so if you were to take a survey of 1,000 people across the country, how many of those do you think would actually believe that the government is going to default on the debt ceiling? Like 2-3 people maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's very low. I don't think that many people would be worried about it. You're gonna find some.
Other than,
I mean, you're always gonna find outliers situation, but
yeah, I mean, it's a
very, very low, I would say.
yeah, and so, but the guys on Wall Street, we're concerned with it, and so we're going to throw volatility into the marketplace, and the stock market's all 500 points and this and that, and these are supposed, I mean, these are the smartest guys, in finance. I find it interesting that basically any little excuse, sneeze, whatever it may be, generates all this craziness, because we were getting kind of close to 6% rates, and now you're closer to 7% rates.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we were, kind of fluctuating anywhere in the sixes, like low sixes, getting really close to breaking through to getting under 6. And now we've kind of seen them increase back up, anywhere from, depending on the buyer specific situation, 6.5 to 7.5. But the average, like I mentioned, is sitting right around 7 right now. As of yesterday, it's 7.
I think we get about the. Sorry, Dave to cut you off here. I think what you were about.
Go ahead.
What you're saying about prices in Columbus and in our little bubble is interesting. And I know me and Jay have recently had, appraisals that have come back, and it's like the appraiser's opinion is that prices are decreasing, but the actual data and what's happening in the market does not reflect that. And then they make a change to their appraisal because they concede that point. And it's just like, well, yeah, well, the data is the data. We are still rising in prices year over year. And yeah, that's definitely not, I think happening in most of the nation.
Yeah, 100%, Jamie. I mean, we had 3 contracts recently that were all over asking price. I mean, one was as high as 21,000 over asking, and that appraisal actually came back higher than what their purchase price and offering price was. So, we're seeing appraisals come back with these 15 over asking price, 20,000 over asking prices in Columbus specifically, because exactly what you said is the data is coming back and it's matching, where other houses, similar houses, obviously there's a formula and algorithm that appraisers use to come up and generate these things. But yeah, 100%, that is very true, especially in Columbus area.
All right, guys. Well, I think good discussion there, talking about what's going on with interest rates, how it's impacting, and I appreciate the information. Thanks, Ryan.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for always having me, guys.